You know you're a minimalist if this sounds like you. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Helen. I am a Master KonMari consultant and I love making videos on intentional living as well as mindful consumption. That sounds good to you. I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and come join in on the conversation. So last week, I made a video about the 5 different areas in my life where I would consider myself a minimalist and 5 areas in my life where I don't consider myself a minimalist. And after watching this video, my husband said to me, you know, the areas that you consider yourself not a minimalist is still pretty minimal. This whole idea of minimalism, I think, is pretty arbitrary. It's not like there's some sort of official definition.
That if you own more than 100 items, you are not a minimalist.
The way that I kind of define it for myself when I was making that video is, do I consider myself having just the essential, or do I have more than I need? And by more than I need, I mean if I had to choose, I could pare it down a little bit further. And so that's why I don't consider myself a minimalist in those areas. And maybe it's a KonMari habit where I'm always thinking about items by category, because in KonMari, when we go through a tidying festival, we tidy by category and not by location. And that makes me kind of think about everything in my life by category. And so it made sense for me to think which category, which area am I a minimalist and which area am I not. So today's video is sort of like a minimalist checklist. You know you're a minimalist if you check off all these things. So you know you're a minimalist if this sounds like you. Before I start, I want to say that of course this video is just for fun, so don't take it too seriously. These are some of the observations that I've made based around the self-proclaimed minimalists around me. And so maybe you agree and maybe you don't, but let's get started. Number 1, you know you're a minimalist if you value experience over things. So this can apply to many different areas in your life. When you travel, instead of buying souvenirs, you would rather spend money on activities and to see things, to experience things, and it doesn't matter whether or not you bring anything home. And during the holiday season, you prefer to give and to receive experience type gifts. You would rather receive a gift of a concert or a show or any kind of like workshop rather than a physical item. And that if it's up to you, you would rather no one ever gives you any physical item ever again, and that all your gifts are experience-based gifts. Okay, so next on the list, you know you're a minimalist if you love the concept of buy it for life. In fact, you probably frequently visit the Buy It For Life subreddit on Reddit. Instead of nonstick pans, you would much rather take the time to really properly season a cast iron pan that you will have forever. You take great care of your items and you love things that comes with a lifetime warranty. Okay, so next on my checklist, number 3, you know you are a minimalist if you love to borrow or rent items. And this can be applied to so many different areas in your life. It could be you would much prefer going to the library to get books rather than to buy books at the bookstore. You would rather rent or borrow dresses or special occasion clothing item from your friends or from stores that does rentals rather than to own it yourself. When you do any kind of household DIY rental projects, you would rather rent or borrow tools than to have these items in your tool library. You really just don't see the value of owning something if it's not an item that you will use every day. So you would love to be able to borrow and rent all of those not everyday items if you could. Number 4 on my list is you know you are a minimalist if you love to declutter. By this I mean you're constantly evaluating and reevaluating the different items in your life, and nothing is off limits, nothing is safe. The moment you realize this is not something that you need anymore or something that you haven't used in a while, you're happy to let it go, and then you'll give yourself a pat on the back for letting it go. And if you buy something new, you immediately think to yourself, what can I let go of? Last but not least, number 5 on my list. You know you are a minimalist if you buy quality over quantity. You are someone that doesn't need options. You are happy to keep using and reusing the same items over and over again. So this can be clothing, where you repeat outfits multiple times a week. You have maybe 1 or 2 pairs of shoes that you wear most of the time. You are someone that doesn't care if you are using one handbag every day. You really don't care if your friends see you at every special occasion, every wedding, every party in the same dress. When it comes down to it, you would rather spend money to buy one quality item rather than have 4 lesser quality item just to have options. So does that sound like you? Are you a minimalist? Click that like button to give this video a thumbs up if you check off at least 1 or more traits on my list. Now, do I consider myself a minimalist? For me, it's more important to consider, does it bring me joy in my life, than to consider, is this the bare essentials that I need? So depending on the day that you ask me, Helen, are you a minimalist? I might say yes, and I might say no, because I think it really depends. Once again, I don't have the same philosophy that I apply to every area, every category in my life. It really depends on what we're talking about. Certain things, yes, I'm absolutely a minimalist. I probably don't even want to own it or have the bare essential. And other categories, no, I do want options, and I do want to have a variety of things where I could choose from, and they all bring me joy. So that is totally fine. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and until next time, choose joy, live well.